Good morning. I'm Astrid Martinez. I don't know if you guys know me, but I am a host and reporter on CBS 46. I cover entertainment, arts, and culture. So I'm very honored and privileged that the DeKalb Chamber invited me because I know that they really work hard in those three departments. Today's event, of course, we are celebrating the Chamber's work. It was founded in 1938. And the DeKalb Chamber is the catalyst that attracts, supports, and advances business interests right here, of course, in our community. The Chamber equips businesses, members also to resources, information, advances education, and works the workforce development. So today also I just want to remind you that you can eat while I'm talking, because if you're like me, I don't like to be hungry because then I get angry. So I want you to be a good crowd, enjoy it. Also as a reminder to silence your cell phones, put it on vibrate, because I'll be up here talking a while. So I'll also have some people on stage so you don't get bored of me. During tonight's event, we also encourage you, if you're going to use social media, to use a hashtag DCOC4Biz, B-I-Z, in your social media posts. So before we start, you guys feeling okay? Doing well? Yeah? Okay. I hope we enjoy tonight, and to enjoy this evening, of course, we have to thank our sponsors. If you look to the slides, we can get started. We want to recognize and support our presenting sponsors, AT&T and Publix Supermarkets. Thank you. And we also want to thank our gold sponsors, our DeKalb Chamber Foundation, Gas South, Georgia Power, Kaiser Permanente, Oglethorpe Power, Georgia Transmission, and Walton Gas. Those are our gold sponsors. Our silver sponsors are Georgia Piedmont Technical College, the Hicks Evaluation Group, and Social Box. And our bronze sponsors are Atkins, Serum, Citizens Trust Bank, Decide DeKalb, DeKalb County School District, EGM Services, Goodwill of North Georgia, Pepsi Beverages Company, Perimeter Sid, and T. Dallas Smith Company. And lastly, our award sponsors, Edward Joe's Investment, The Engraving House, Oasis Consulting Services, and Russell Landscape Group. Please give them all a round of applause. And at this time, too, we also would like to recognize the elected and appointed officials of our school board members. If you are here, please stand so you can be recognized. I want to thank you for your service and commitment to DeKalb County, because it takes a lot to put on events like this, the amazing food that you're having, the company, the people that are here. We're all learning from each other. So we also want to thank the help of our ambassadors. If you guys are here, please stand up as well so you can be recognized. Ambassadors of the DeKalb Chamber. Okay, it's my turn to stop talking. We would like to invite Rick Johnson from AT&T to come up here and give some sponsor remarks.
Thank you, and good afternoon. My name is Rich Johnson. I represent AT&T here today, and it's a great pleasure to be here in DeKalb County. AT&T sponsors events like this and wants to participate in events like this because the DeKalb Chamber, the leadership at DeKalb County, is just striving to make this place such an amazing place to work, to live, to raise a family. And at AT&T, we want to be part of the community. We want to be part of your business. We want to be part of the future here in DeKalb County, and the work that the Chamber is doing and the work that the leadership at DeKalb County is doing is positioning for great success. We're so excited to be here. We couldn't be more honored and more pleased. So with that, thank you.
Okay, up next, I want to invite the DeKalb County CEO, Michael Thurman, to the stage to bring some greetings also from the county.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to express my congratulations and appreciation to the board chair, Ms. Brenda Reed, members of the board, and especially to our president and CEO, Ms. Katarina. Let's give Katarina a round of applause for her outstanding leadership and support. I know that there are several county commissioners present today. I saw Commissioner Johnson and Commissioner Johnson and Commissioner Johnson and Commissioner Bradshaw. With the county, if county commissioners are here, would you please stand and be recognized, please? Ms. Cochran Johnson. Thank you all so much. Good news is, and I want to thank the DeKalb Chamber for their ongoing support of the efforts in DeKalb County. DeKalb is rising, and primarily because we've had the support of this chamber and the men and women gathered in this room. Because of your support, right now as we speak, there are 5 paving crews paving over 300 miles of the worst roads in DeKalb County, Georgia. Because of the chamber, because of this chamber, we provided over $100 million in ad valorem tax relief to citizens of DeKalb. We just ended the fiscal year. We turned a $24 million deficit into a $112 million surplus in DeKalb County. We thank you so much for your support. On behalf of the commissioners again, our 6,000 employees, thank you so much, DeKalb Chamber of Commerce, for being with us and for us as we continue to improve the quality of life across our county. Thank you.
Up next, we want to invite Keith Drew, Senior Communications Consultant for Vertical Communications. He's going to deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you for this chance to be here today. We thank you for the chance to come together as people who are looking for ways to make this county, this place that we call home, a better place for business, a better place for jobs, a better place for people, a better place for life. Help us, O Lord, in this time to feel your presence. Bless this food to our bodies that it may strengthen us, and help us to relieve others' pain and suffering. Help us to leave this place that we may be instruments of your love and grace. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good afternoon. I'm Brenda Reed, Media and Community Relations Manager for Public Supermarkets, and I'm also the Chair of the Board for the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce. It is an honor and a pleasure to serve as the Board Chair for DeKalb Chamber. I asked the Board to extend my term a second year because DeKalb County is changing, just as CEO Thurman said, and we need to be focused on doing the work and facilitating the needs of businesses as we help this county move forward. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work with so many talented and passionate leaders in government and business. There isn't enough time to name all of them, but if you are a current member of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, please stand so that we can recognize you. All of my board members, thank you. I know the staff is very busy, but we owe a debt of gratitude to them for working so hard day in and day out to help build our brand of being a leader in attracting, supporting, and advancing business in our county. Katarina Taylor, President and CEO. Katarina, please stand. Emily Yang, Director of Communications and Programs. Kim Childs, Business Manager, who's leaving us and going to work for the Athens Chamber. We're mad at you. And Rashay Brooks, Senior Manager of Visual Marketing and Branding. Please give them a hand. I would also like to introduce our new incoming board members. If you are here, please stand when I call your name. Virgil Flood with Marta. Dr. Tavares Halston, Georgia Piedmont Technical College. Deanna Levitt, Gregory Levitt and Sons Funeral Homes. Rukia Thomas with Atkins. And Fabian Wilson with BB&T. As I mentioned earlier, we have work to do. Last year, our state leaders established a regional transit agency, the ATL. Public transportation has been at the core of DeKalb County since many of you were born, since before many of you were born. Protecting our investment in transportation and positioning our county for growth through infrastructure stability is key to moving forward. Our chamber members are at the table working with state and local leadership to ensure that DeKalb continues to be a destination for new development, controlled growth, and access to capital. DeKalb is hard at work because Georgia has seen too many hospitals close. A viable healthcare system is key to the success of a community. The merger of the DeKalb Medical Center and Emory Healthcare will result in a stronger, healthier community in which to live and do business. The newly created Emory Decatur Hospital, Emory Hillendale Hospital, and Emory Long-Term Care, along with our existing healthcare provider, gives us a firm standing to continue to attract new businesses into DeKalb. Thank you, Emory and DeKalb Medical, for your commitment to keeping the lights on, says Georgia Power. Providing medical services, says the CDC. And keeping people on the payroll, says CEO Michael Thurman, and Public Supermarkets. Thank you very much. The DeKalb Chamber is working to help grow business in this county. We have our hand on the pulse of public policy so that we can help you make informed decisions. And we are working with the DeKalb School District and local colleges and universities because we want you to hire from an educated, skilled, and talented workforce. Working together, we make our county stronger. Won't you join us? Thank you so much for your commitment to the Chamber, and if you haven't joined already, we hope that you will very soon. Thank you, and please continue your lunch.
Hello again. I hope you're enjoying your meal. I see a lot of people smiling, so that's a good sign. I still got you with me. How's your meal so far? Good? I don't hear talking, which means you're chewing, so I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, so we're going to continue our presentation. Now it's time for awards. We have the beautiful Katharina and Brenda here next to me. We are going to welcome Ambassador of the Year Award sponsors Patrick Desamore of Edward Jones Investment and Troy Vincent of the Engraving House. The Ambassador of the Year Award is sponsored by Edward Jones Investment. Edward Jones Investment serves nearly 7 million individual investors and has over 17,000 offices in the U.S. alone. The company has recently celebrated its 100th anniversary, and Patrick has been with Edward Jones for 24 years, helping grow the wealth of DeKalb and Metro Atlanta investors. So applause to him. We are also proud to recognize Myra Sase as the recipient of the Ambassador of the Year Award. This award recognizes an individual who has gone above and beyond to serve DeKalb Chamber, volunteering countless time and effort to spread the Chamber's mission. Myra has acted as a goodwill representative, working alongside staff to help ensure that members have a positive experience. Her commitment to the Ambassador program has helped to retain and grow membership, educate members of the Chamber benefits, and encourage participation in Chamber events. We applaud all that you do here for the Chamber of DeKalb County, so please welcome and help me welcome Myra to stage. Thank you, Myra. Okay, our next award is Ambassador of the Year in the Young Professionals category. It's sponsored by the Engraving House. Founded in 1952, the Engraving House is a monument company that creates permanent keepsakes of your memories, special events, and other special occasions. They specialize in engraved corporate awards, sports awards, engraved bricks, monuments, and various personalized gifts. The Engraving House services clients around the southeastern states and locally in DeKalb and metro area. So we are proud to recognize Patrick Rogers as the Ambassador of the Year in the Young Professionals category. Patrick went above and beyond to bring new energy to the Young Professionals program, helping to establish robust and relevant meetings catered to addressing young professionals' needs. He's committed to representing young professionals at chamber functions, and he's worked to help to engage others. So we applaud Patrick and your efforts. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, next is the Sirius Award presentation. I would like to call up to our stage the Sirius Award sponsor, Majid Rad of Oasis Consulting Services, to help present the award, and Teddy Russell of Russell Landscape Group. Right here? Yay, okay. Oasis Consulting Services is a woman business enterprise, yes, that specializes in creating innovative environmental, geotechnical, and solid waste engineering solutions. Oasis has proudly provided services in DeKalb on both public and private projects for over 2 decades. Russell Landscape is Georgia's largest privately held commercial landscaping firm, and Dr. Bill Russell founded the company in 1987, and in 2018 he transitioned the business to his son, Teddy, as the second-generation owner. Pictures? Yay! So currently, he has over 500 employees serving branches throughout the Southeast. Our recipient is deserving of this award for his leadership, vision, integrity. We are proud to recognize Al Edwards, founder and managing director of Sarum. With this year's Sirius Award, the Sirius Award recognizes an individual who has demonstrated a high level of integrity, work ethic, an individual who holds strong values and vision for DeKalb County. Al is a community leader, a champion for small business and education. At Sarum, he's helping our youth grow their interest in STEM-related career options through the company's Job Shadow program. High school and college students, they spend a day engaged in interactive sessions with employees and business partners to gain hands-on experience with this program. Some of the participants have gone to work in STEM-related markets across the U.S. Also, Al is a crucial member in our community and in the DeKalb Chamber. His willingness to serve and openness to offer support and collaborative partnerships have been crucial to growing our small business and entrepreneurs. So we applaud you, Al. I've had the pleasure of sitting next to you. Thank you.
Astrid, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. What an honor. To our elected officials, DeKalb County Chamber members, our board of directors, our chairwoman and my friend Brenda Reed, past chairs starting with John Kelly, Betty Willis, Patrick Putnam, Dolores Kroll, Kevin Griner, Arnie Silverman, Diane McLaren, and my longtime friend Fred Daniels, thank you all very much for your example and this great award of a lifetime. I would like to thank the DeKalb Chamber for the opportunity to serve our community, to learn, to make mistakes, to witness true collaboration up close and to observe true servant leaders at work. This opportunity has allowed our team at CERM to demonstrate who we are as a company and as a member of this community. To our clients, particularly DeKalb County government and your LSBE program, thank you to our current leaders and to those who have served before you. I hope that today highlights the importance of your policy that provided access to then qualified and deserving young men like my late partner, Marcus L. Reese, and I, that has resulted in CERM serving over 100 families in 3 states, that has resulted in CERM, serving 100 families in 3 states. I like to emphasize that. Most of which are DeKalb County residents, while actively mentoring and encouraging young people as we were mentored and nurtured during our youth in Pritchard, Alabama, and subsequently here in DeKalb. Also, our partner, this morning we were visiting with our team, and they pointed out that CERM is perhaps the largest DeKalb County headquartered engineering firm. This is home for us, a 24-year journey from the South DeKalb Business Incubator. Also to our partners, several of which are here today, 2 of which are co-sponsors here in the presentation, who believe in us, even when there's not a policy requirement in place, but something better, trust and shared values, that has supported our business to grow geographically well outside the boundaries of DeKalb County. To my colleagues at CERM, where y'all at? Raise your hand back there. All right. Thank you for your service to what you do for this community. This is as much your moment as it is mine. Your integrity, your loyalty, initiative is what really makes a moment like this possible. And to my special guest, Elder Frank Ballou of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, thank you for your godly example and encouragement. And to my friend Robert Brown, who showed Marcus and I during the start of our company in the early days that it's really okay to have a community room in your office. And to my dear friends Angela Graham, Taylor Wright, Leona Barr Davenport, my mentor from the Atlanta Business League, thank you for being here today. Finally, I give honor to God for my family and for crossing my path with so many great people. Thank you again for this very special moment, for your example, and for the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
All right, this concludes the award portion of our ceremony. Once again, a round of applause for all of our award recipients. Okay, so before I introduce our keynote speaker, I want to say and help, set the tone. I work, as I mentioned earlier, in the entertainment industry. I cover everything that has to do arts, entertainment, film, and culture here in Atlanta with CBS 46. I hope you tune in today at 4 p.m. I'll be on live, yay. So Georgia, as we know, in the last couple of years has been booming, and it's considered one of the hottest places to make movies, to make films, and I know it attracts a lot of people here. One of the reasons I moved here is because of that. I love the fact that in our own backyards, we can spot some actors. I ran into The Rock last week at the Regal Cinema at the Atlantic Station, and it's just great to see our city just have this electric energy. So I know we're making more projects than California and New York. Georgia is considered the spot right now to make movies. So with that in mind, we have a short video to share with you about the impact of the film and entertainment industry right here in Georgia. So please turn to the monitors and take a look.
Well, in 2008, there was no more houses being built. The film industry really starting to boom around here, and we got into that, and it's been a blessing for me and my family, for sure.
While in school for fashion, I was told I would have to move to LA or I would have to move to New York. Being a homeowner in Georgia, I really didn't want to uproot and have to leave home, and the film industry has just really saved me.
In the film business, it's kind of like building a house, you have to have carpenters, you have to have plumbers, you have to have electricians, you have to have someone to help you pick out the colors, the appliances, the furniture. You know, all that is encompassed in the film industry. So we hire a lot of vendors that come in and they do all this.
So after working with about 30 different productions over time, I paid attention to what their needs were, what their warehouse space needs were, what their office needs were. Melling Avenue Stageworks came about really kind of by luck. I stumbled upon this building in the south side of Atlanta. From the evolution of where I've come from doing short-term leases, ending up with a building I now own a part of was a pretty amazing transformation.
We're a building material supply retailer, and we've been in business since 1919. Late 2008, we saw things really start kind of coming apart at the seams. 2009 pretty much stopped. That's about the same time that we had some acquaintances here in Tucker that are involved in the film business. I can honestly say that's what kept us in business through the 2009, 10, and 11 when things were just awful. The production business has been good to us. It's kept us busy. It's kept us from laying off employees. It's kept us going, basically. It started off at probably 15 to 20% of our business. At times it's 35 to 40% of our business now.
The film industry has been a phenomenal partner for the Lifecycle Building Center. When we began our operation, started working with a TV project, and they became our largest single customer to date. There's a tremendous amount of material that comes out of film projects, and we're able to capture that material and distribute it back into the community to organizations.
Since 1998, I've been doing this. I began in the theater and then moved into film in 2005. If it wasn't for this, I would not be making the money that I make now and be able to afford to do the things that I am able to do. Buy my house, have my car, take care of my family.
It's keeping people employed. People are coming here and leasing apartments, staying in hotels, eating at restaurants. So overall, it's really, really doing a great thing for the economy here in Georgia.
Well, on this particular show, at the highest point, I mean, we've had over 100 guys out here just in the building part.
As early as 5 years ago, we were 8 people. And since we started getting involved with the Georgia Film Tax Credit, we have gone from 8 people from the initial year of the tax credit to now we have 150 employees.
The tax incentives for the film industry have been a great boon to the movie industry. But by the same token, the movie industry has been a great boon to the economy for the state of Georgia.
I've worked on 20 to 30 productions in the state of Georgia since 2005. We've been everywhere: Valdosta, Griffin, Georgia, St. Simons Island, Blairsville, Helen, Georgia, all over the state of Georgia.
I've worked on The Walking Dead seasons 3 and 4. I've worked on the originals. I've worked on The Game on BET, as well as Devious Made seasons 1 and 2.
It's not that the people that are making money are out of state. It's not a bunch of LA people. It's most of the people that are here, they're all residents of the state of Georgia, and they've lived here.
I've even had friends out in LA say we're all even struggling to find work, try and go somewhere else, and that's why I chose Atlanta.
If it wasn't for the film industry, I don't know where I'd be.
I'm not sure that we would be here today after almost 100 years of business had it not been for getting a fair, big share of this business over the years and experiencing the loyalty, and it goes both ways. It's really been good for us. I got to tell you, I love the film people.
So as you can see, we have a lot going on when it comes to the film industry in Georgia, so hopefully our keynote speaker can get us some work at speaking roles and get those royalty checks coming in, right? Our keynote speaker is Ryan Millsap, the chairman and CEO of Black Hall Studios, one of the film studios located right here in DeKalb County. Some of the movies shot at his location include Venom, Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Step Up High Water. If you open up your program book, you're going to also get to see a little bit of his bio. I'll go over it, but you can read along. In his role as chairman and CEO at Blackhall, Ryan oversees the long and short-term strategy of the studios, staying involved on a daily basis to provide leadership and direction for the company and its assets. Ryan led the original capitalization of Wild Hair Media in Los Angeles and remains a significant shareholder in that organization today. And he was executive producer of the 2014 film Shake the Dust. He's also a member of the adjunct faculty at the University of Southern California. He has a background in real estate investment and serves as a founder and CEO of Arinda Capital Management. He's played a principal level role in the capitalization, acquisition, and management of more than $1.2 billion in real estate assets, including more than 12,000 apartments in cities across the nation from Savannah to Los Angeles. And he's spoken across the country when it comes to real estate investments. So now we have the honor of having him here. I'm excited to hear about more of Georgia and what we're doing to attract the people that are coming to our city. So for now, let's welcome Ryan.
Thank you guys for having me. I wanted to, before we get started, I want to acknowledge the wonderful leadership of DeKalb County. I've gotten to know the CEO. He's been wonderful in the things that we've worked with him on, the commissioners that are here. Thank you guys for all your help. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your vision. I've been in Georgia for 5 years, and I've been involved now with DeKalb County for a little over 3. And I can tell you that in the 3 years that I've been involved with DeKalb County, I've experienced nothing but the highest quality of leadership, the highest quality of imagination. And this county is really going in the right direction in 100 different ways. Also, I saw Deming Bass here. Deming, where are you at? There he is in the back. Deming. Deming recruited me into something called Advanced DeKalb, which has had a lot of success in raising money in the last 6 months. Last I heard, it was somewhere around like $1.3 million that had been raised by outside organizations to partner with Decide DeKalb in helping to create more public-private partnership in a bunch of different ways, from where we spend money on infrastructure to how we organize and get the most out of the other organizations inside of the county. I'm excited about that. We got really involved. They came to me and just asked, really cast the vision. And I said, man, that's something we'd like to be a part of. And so we got involved early. And it's been exciting to see all the other people that have come on board as well. What's going to happen in DeKalb County in the next 10 years is going to blow your minds when it comes to entertainment. We have 2 of the major studios in the state, in this county, Blackhall Studios and Third Rail Studios. Both are hosting major productions, productions that could have gone to London, could have gone to Toronto, could have gone to Vancouver. And that's really where we sit today. We are sitting in a place where Georgia is competing on an international level like a country, right? 2 years ago, we were the #1 production location in the world, and #2 was Canada, right? And after that, it was the UK. This year, Canada was #1 by like $100 million difference on almost $3 billion worth of production. So they have 2 major production hubs, Toronto and Vancouver. We represent really the entire United States when it comes to subsidized production. Now, subsidized production is what the tax incentives create. The UK has a tax incentive. They've had it for a long time. Canada has a tax incentive. They've had it for a long time. Georgia now has a tax incentive. We've had it for 10 years. And in 10 years, really incredible things have happened, right? 10 years ago, 2008, the tax credit passed. It's a 30% tax credit. Most of you know these stories, but I'm going to tell them to you anyway. And a 30% tax credit means that if you make a $100 million movie in Los Angeles, it costs you $100 million if you're Disney. If you make a $100 million movie in Georgia, it costs you about $70 million. because you get $30 million back in tax credits that you then sell to people who need to pay their Georgia taxes. So that tax incentive is very similar to the one in the UK. It's very similar to the one in Canada. If you make the movie in Georgia, 100% of your labor is United States union labor. If you make the movie in the UK, it's not. So the unions, and the same with Canada, it's not. So the unions in the United States are heavily incentivized to try to keep those productions inside the United States. And the place to do that is Georgia. Now, a lot of union workers have moved to Georgia and made Georgia their home. Because not only is this an incredible place to make movies, it's also an incredible place to travel to make movies. Because we have the best airport in the world, as everyone knows, and we can fly anywhere in the world in one flight. And so if you are a key grip that needs to go make a movie in Hawaii, this is a great place to live because I don't know, there's probably 10 direct flights to Hawaii every day. I wouldn't be surprised. I know there's like 12 a day to Los Angeles, and I think there's like 15 a day to New York, maybe 30 if you can include Newark, right? So it's an incredible place to have as a base of operation if you are in the movie industry and you're not only making movies here in Georgia, but you're making movies all around the world. So what I want to do is I want to tell you a little story about just how this has evolved and where we sit, and then hopefully cast a vision for you to help you know where it's going. I'm going to end by 1:20. I'm going to put my watch up here so I don't go over time. So 2008, the tax credit passes. 2014, which was just 5 years ago, Pinewood was delivered in Fayetteville. Now, this was absolutely transformational to our industry in Georgia because a lot of states had tried passing tax credits. And those states included Louisiana, Michigan, New Mexico, North Carolina. Of those, North Carolina had the most success until they ran into a sunset clause in their tax credit provision and some social issues that Hollywood just can't tolerate, right? And so now there's basically no production in North Carolina. But the other states, New Mexico, Louisiana, Michigan, what they made a mistake in looking at tax credit, what they made the mistake is believing that a tax credit could be the foundation of an economy, that entertainment could be the foundation of an economy. And it's really hard to make entertainment the foundation of an economy. Entertainment is an exponent on an already existing economy. And that's why it's done so well in Georgia. Because when we issue a tax credit, we have a lot of people who can absorb those tax credits. Unlike Louisiana, unlike Michigan, unlike New Mexico. They run into a natural ceiling where there's just not enough people to buy the tax credits. Whereas in Georgia, we have Delta Airlines, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Newell Rubbermaid, the list goes on, right? UPS, and then a huge amount of wealthy individuals that also have to pay a lot of taxes. And so all of that economy can absorb the tax credits that are issued by the entertainment world. What that means is that we can attract the biggest productions, right? So like at Blackhall, this year we'll make $500 million worth of content. That's funded by Disney, funded by Paramount, funded by Universal, funded by Warner Brothers. But $500 million worth of content is a significant amount of dollars flowing. That's about $100 million in payroll, right? So when you think about the fact that we're sitting in South DeKalb County, right? We're on about 165 acres. We use about 100 acres right now. But in the existing footprint that we have about 850,000 square feet. We have 210,000 of that square feet is sound stages. And 210,000 square feet of sound stages is 9 sound stages. One of them is 40,000 square feet. So normally 200,000 square feet would be about 10 sound stages, about 20,000 each. And to put that in perspective, Warner Brothers has about 380,000 square feet of sound stages in Los Angeles. Universal has about 410,000 square feet of sound stages in Los Angeles. And when Blackhall finishes our second phase in South DeKalb County, we'll have 450,000 square feet of sound stages, right? So we're in a position where in the next 24 months, DeKalb County could have the largest studio in North America by soundstage space inside of the borders of DeKalb County. I think that's pretty incredible, right? Then when you multiply that by the fact that 200,000 square feet of soundstage space results in $100 million worth of payroll, and we double that or expand it beyond that, we may have a economic engine in South DeKalb County that is spitting out $200 million a year worth of payroll to the people that are working there. Those dollars just start spinning all over the place. You know, when you start thinking about when is it that someone will build a nice hotel down in that area? Well, probably 3-4 years into our operations, I would guess we have enough gravitational force that that's going to make sense for someone. When are people going to start building nicer restaurants down there in that area? Well, when there's gravitational force that they believe that those jobs are sticky, when they believe that that $100 million, $200 million worth of payroll is going to be there year in and year out, and those people are going to be spending that money eating, staying in hotels, looking for places to live. That reality is emerging, right, just from the physical standpoint of this industry. But when you look at where the real money is in entertainment, it's in production, right? Because the way that this industry works right now is all the ideas are born in California. And then they're funded by Californians to be made into productions. That production money is brought to Georgia for manufacturing, which is wonderful for us. But then after the movie is made, it's taken back to California for distribution, and all the profits are kept in California. So we're the Chinese manufacturing of film, right? China has been thrilled to manufacture all sorts of things for us, including the iPhone. But the people who are making the iPhone don't have the amount of cash that Apple has sitting in their bank account right now. And so while they have been very happy to be manufacturers, you've watched the Chinese evolve, right? They take the manufacturing money and they become financiers of things. They're financing things all over the world. And now they're at a place, which one of the things that's really cool to see, for the Chinese anyway, is that now they're getting to a place where they're starting to develop intellectual property that people in the United States are watching saying, wow, that intellectual property is stuff we might want to use, right? So they've gone from manufacturing to financing to intellectual property, right? We're going to do the same thing in Georgia with the entertainment industry. So right now we're just manufacturing. The next phase for us is really financing, right? So we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the talent infrastructure to create the ideas that could be a pipeline of ideas that could fill up ABC's television lineup, right? Or the box office on a Saturday night. We're not there yet. Most of that talent resides in Los Angeles, and it resides there because the industry is 100 years old there. Well, the industry here is 5 years old, really, because it's post-Pinewood, right? It's the pre-Pinewood era and the post-Pinewood era. Pinewood was delivered in 2014. Suddenly, Marvel could make movies here because they had a real facility. They had an internationally recognizable name on a internationally qualified facility where they could make movies in a way that was as good as anything in Los Angeles, maybe better. Anything in London, maybe better. Everything in Canada, for sure, right? Are there any Canadians in the room? I always like to joke about with my Canadian friends. I say, I can't trust a Canadian. They say, why is that? I said, I mean, you screwed up bacon. Anyway, so we got the post-Pinewood era, and so we entered into a time when major productions could come to Georgia and have the facilities they needed. That attracted a lot of bodies, and those bodies have begun training other people to do the same jobs, right? This industry is an apprenticeship industry. Whatever you start at, if you're a seamstress inside of the wardrobe department or a carpenter inside of the construction department, you're still starting at the bottom because this whole thing is just apprenticeship and unionized. So you got to work your way up. Doesn't really matter if you have an education or don't have an education. You just got to find a way in. And then when you get in, you got to work really hard. And as you do that, you get trained by the people above you, and you just keep rising up. And what happens is that your boss will get a call, and they'll say, hey, could you come work on Godzilla 3? He'd say, God, I'd love to, but I'm doing Superman 4, right? And then that guy will say, but I've got a guy. He's been working with me for 3 years. He's great. You should put him on Godzilla. And then that guy gets his next promotion, right? Because right now, the two limiting factors inside of the production world are great space and great bodies. Because there's not enough bodies to make the content that is demanded by the amount of people that want content and want to make the content, right? So I can be Netflix and I can have last year their goal was to make $8 billion worth of content. To put that in context, in the state of Georgia, all the content made in the state of Georgia, and we were number 2 in the world, was $2.7 billion, right? So Netflix by themselves wants to make almost 3 times that much. At least that's what they wanted to make last year. And the major limiting factor for them is qualified, talented people that actually know how to make a production, right? So people are trying so hard to get trained up quickly to keep up with the demand. Well, Netflix just changed their budgeted goal for spend from $8 billion to $14 billion. So they're going to have an even bigger problem. And they're trying to fill these positions all over the world because they're trying to make content not only in English, but in Mandarin and Spanish and every other language that you can imagine, because Netflix wants to be a global provider of entertainment. And they can be, because we have a distribution called the internet that goes everywhere, right? People don't have to go to the movie theater. Not that they don't want to, because they want to do that too, but it's just a lot easier to distribute movies over the internet or television over the internet than it is to distribute via theaters. Anyway, so I've only got a few minutes left because I could keep going for a long time, but I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I know everybody has to go. Where we sit today at Blackhall is we're going to double our size. We're then going to raise a big production fund. That production fund will be about $250 million. We'll take that $250 million and we will partner it with our partners that we already do business with in LA, Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, because we don't have the quality of pipeline of content that's yet ready to really be funded in Georgia. But we'll get there, because I'll take this money, I'll partner with these guys, and then the supply chain will at least shift a little bit to where then it's California ideas, funded by Californians and Georgians, manufactured in Georgia, brought back to California for distribution, because they're better at it anyway, and then all the profits will be kept by Californians and Georgians, right? So then more of the money be kept here, which will then allow me to start bringing talent from California and then raising up talent in Georgia that can actually start buying intellectual property, developing scripts, attaching talent to those scripts. I mean, this is what the development side of the business is taking it from idea to funded production. We'll build that out over the next 5, 10 years. 10 years from now, not only will Georgians be major financiers of content all over the world, but a lot of content will be born here. And there will be people that are working in, thousands of people working in full-time jobs where their jobs have nothing to do with the actual production of the content. Their jobs have to do with the creation of the ideas. That's why, if you go to the Soho House in West Hollywood, half those people are in there trying to put together deals for film and television. They're hanging out, talking to their friends about all right, we've got this idea, who's going to write the script? Now we have a script. What actors are being attached to it? Now we have the actors attached. Who's going to direct it? Who's going to produce it? Who's going to fund it? Right? All of these ideas. Well, we're going to, there'll be in the next probably 5 years, there'll be a Soho House in Atlanta. And in the next 5 to 10 years, there'll be people putting those deals together, along the Beltline as they walk between Krog Street and Pont City Market, right? So it won't just be manufacturing, but it will be the entire life cycle of entertainment. What's exciting for us in DeKalb County is that we have an opportunity to be the leader in that space, not just on the production side, on the physical production side, but on the intellectual property side. And so at Blackhall, our hope is that we can continue to partner with DeKalb County to build out the kind of entertainment infrastructure that is going to be world-renowned, where somebody who is a young entertainment entrepreneur who lives in London might say, maybe I could get to Atlanta, because if I could pitch this idea to Blackhall, maybe they'd fund it. And we hope to do that. We want to attract all the best and the brightest, because the creative vortex that happens inside of an economy, when you have high-level creative talent running around your ecosystem, is felt everywhere. Entertainment impacts every other industry. And entertainment executives and the creative power that runs around with them, and as they start working together and it starts spinning, it has impact beyond ways that you can control, right? That's why the Los Angeles economy is so dynamic, and why the London economy is so dynamic, and why the New York economy is so dynamic, because it doesn't just have industry, it has creative force, and that's what we want to build here. I thank you guys for giving me the time today. I appreciate what's going on in DeKalb. I love the chamber and all of the leadership that we have at the county level. I'm thankful for it. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Ryan, thank you so much. Ryan is the kind of business leader in the community that we like to have because he's truly committed to DeKalb. He's committed to his craft, and he wants to see this community do well. And he also came back a day early to be with us because his mom's birthday was this weekend. So thank you for that, Ryan, and we have a little something for you. So now we're coming to the close of our program, but there's a few people I'd like to thank before we adjourn today. And I also want to share some highlights of the chamber. We may share those highlights. It's about 1:25 now. But before we do that, I'd like to thank, again, all of our elected officials for being here today, the DeKalb School Board, our DeKalb County Commission. If you are here again, please stand. Anyone from our cities, all our city officials, please stand, city electeds. As well as we have a few people from Congressman Johnson's office, Congresswoman Lucy McBath, as well as Senator Isleson. Please stand if you're from their office today. Thank you. So I want to make sure I also highlight my team, and Brenda, you did that as well, but I want to make sure that I do that again. Rashay Brooks, Kim Childs, and Emily Yang, and our volunteers, they're an extension of our team, as well as our Chamber Board of Directors. I want to also thank you all. Brenda, our board chair, I have flowers for you. Please come up one more time, please, Brenda. Brenda decided that she wanted to be chair again, and it has worked out well. We've got a lot of work to do in 2019. Most people would not choose to do this job a second time. As you know, it is not a paid job. So, Brenda, we certainly appreciate you. Oh, it's at the table. I also want to thank the DeKalb History Center. We spent several months at the History Center working with the History Center to go through our archives. As you all know, we celebrated 80 years last year. And so we were there looking through the archives and wanted to understand more about what our chamber was about and who created the chamber and what we were doing then so we could move forward and do more of that and what was our history. So as you all exit the building today, we put together a really nice 80th anniversary commemorative magazine for you, and we'll have that out for you as you exit. I also want to introduce a new chamber logo. For many years, our logo has evolved and changed, and I want to thank Rashay Brooks on our team for her expert design and marketing skills. It was important that this logo was vibrant and it was a reflection of the community and the direction in which the chamber wanted to go, along in collaboration with DeKalb County and other business partners in this community. In 2018, the chamber was met with challenges and many successes. For the first time in more than 30 years, the chamber took an independent DeKalb delegation to our nation's capital to advocate around business issues like workforce development and transit. Our Young Professionals Council grew membership and engagement by delivering high-level training, career guidance, and they launched a new mentoring program. Thanks to Ebony Carzo, who is our chair of the Young Professionals, as well as our board member. Also in 2018, our women executive leaders of DeKalb, we launched our very first inaugural Women in Business. That brought out more than 100 attendees and women from Gwinnett, Cobb, Clayton, Fulton, and of course, DeKalb. It's important to this chamber that we support one of Georgia's fastest growing segments of entrepreneurs and the women in this state and across this country. So, I hope you all had a chance to go out and view our history exhibit. Did you all have a chance to do that? You can clap for that. You can clap for that. If you have not had a chance, please do that. We really want to make sure you understand what we've done this year and what we've done for the last 80 years and how you all can be a part of our future going forward. So with that, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you again to all the people that support the chamber, and of course, you all here. And in closing, in 1988, Quinn Hudson, then entrepreneur, now leading communications for DeKalb County CEO office, eloquently said, "The chamber's history is a chronicle of ordinary people who put forth extraordinary leadership for the county." So I want to thank you for your leadership in the county, and I especially want to say a very special thank you to CEO Thurman for being here today. Thank you for your extraordinary leadership in this county and with this chamber. And with that, I hope that you all have enjoyed lunch, and we are now adjourned. Thank you.